everyone, and today I'll be playing My Dear Hatchet Man. And this isn't day 3, this is still just the prologue and day 1, so there's no day 2 yet. But there's new stuff, so there's new lore, new sprites, and new music, and just new art. So it's still the same story to some extent, but just had a bunch of new stuff in it. So basically, it's about just meeting a friendly, stranger in the woods who might have developed a thing for you. So let's start. I'm excited to see what. I tend to run away from my problems. It's how I ended up here in the first place. Welcome to Doomsbury. Even the town's name is suspicious. Doonesbury, located somewhere in Massachusetts, with a small population of 30,000 people or so. It's known for being a college town where most young adults have taken over the streets and businesses. It's got a rich history, from cryptids to devil-worshipping cults. If you are a gang of crime-solving teams, you have your work cut out for you. But the townspeople revel in the mystery, urban legends, and strange folklore, considering how quiet the town was usually, anything that was a break from the monotony gained notoriety. Many people, especially families, would come and dump their kids for a spring or summer break. Here, really? A boomer's worst nightmare. I dug my claws into this sleepy town, attending Doonesbury University. For the past few months of my fall semester, to settle I fell into a routine: eat, sleep, study, repeat. At first I was excited to come from the next town over. Receiving that acceptance letter was the best thing to happen to me. I was handed a new life, one more way different than who I was. I wanted it more than anything. So once the chance was given to me, I took it. Hook, line, and sinker. I was doing fine for a while, but it was hard to make friends. I was isolated. The only times I left my house was to grab a slice of pizza or some coffee from the cafe. I sort of trapped myself in this cycle. Sometimes I wouldn't bother to eat and slug down sleeping pills. Oh. To say this move wasn't going as smoothly would be the understatement of the century. I'm not gonna lie, I would love to live like that. It's not like I hate it here. Maybe I was just doomed to be miserable no matter where I went. I mean, I'm much happier here than where I used to be. That's not saying much, though. I wandered into the woods, thinking that maybe a walk would wear me out and I'd catch up on some sleep. There was nothing fun about lying on my bed, associating until I passed out. So I decided to leave my cave for some late-night snacks from the local convenience store. Another staple of Doonesbury is the mystical and expansive forest that surrounds it, with trails that could take you to the many businesses and homes. All the natives knew the trails like the back of their hand, and I was so sure I did too. I was pretty familiar with my usual path on my walks, staring at the same screwed-up sidewalks, or kicking the occasional pebble along the dirt paths. Walking didn't take up much of my time, though I wished it did. I wouldn't say I'm much of a nature lover, but the woods do look nice, especially during golden hour. Tonight I decided to take a different path. I wanted to see what the woods could bring me. A shortcut, or maybe an epiphany, you could say. Maybe I could find a cool-looking stick from the ground and pretend it's a sword. I'll admit it doesn't sound like much, but given the circumstances, I have to work with what I've got. It was starting to get colder. I could tell by the numbness nipping at my fingertips. I jammed my hands into the pockets of my pants, trying to get some feeling in them. Wait a minute. Where exactly am I? Of course you got lost in the woods. God damn it. Well, this was just perfect. I'm all alone in the woods, with no service, no sense of direction, and it's dark out. That's what I get for being adventurous at night. I'm an idiot. My eyes scanned around through the thick foliage of the trees. How long was I walking for? I couldn't have walked that far out, but it was too late for that now. Soles of my feet were aching. Begrudgingly, I sat on a large rock as a sort of makeshift seat to relax and collect my thoughts before I had a mental breakdown. I sighed, slightly grimacing from the cold, hard surface of the rock. I dropped my plastic bag of goodies onto the ground, my warm face crinkling from the frigid breeze. I don't know what to do. I can't believe I'm lost out here. That if I died, it could be weeks before my body was found. I sniffle, wiping away the small tears forming at the corners of my eyes. At least I have my snacks. My hand reaches down to rummage the bottom of the bag, feeling around for what I could get my hands on. I feel something wrapped in plastic and pull it out. I grabbed an off-brand healthy granola bar that was coated in chocolate and some caramel drizzle. Not exactly the most exciting choice, but screw it. I needed something to chew on. I struggled with the wrapping. It was getting in between me and my pseudo-healthy crunchy bar. Ooh. The deafening silence was disturbed by what seemed like the sound of a twig snapping. Should I freeze in place? If I was there, you know what? I would jump. My legs locked me in place as I shoot upwards in fear. What the hell made that noise? I was starting to get the sense I wasn't the only one here, and that I was being watched. Calm down, Amelia. Maybe it was just an animal. Or maybe not. Of course, I would be murdered in the most cliche way ever. I gawk at a pair of glowing, predatorial eyes emerging from the floor of the forest. My heart was racing, and I could feel my blood running cold. I think he was getting closer to me? Scream? Attack? Should I scream? Attack! Stay the hell away from me. I look around for anything to use the weapon. Now I regret that cool stick aside while on my way back. Wait, my snacks! I grab my plastic bag. While not weighing the slightest, I could throw a snack or two to make him at least mildly annoyed. I also pointed my granola bar at him like some kind of sword. Not exactly the most threatening sight. If you're gonna try to kill me, you're gonna have to work for it, and you better hope I don't turn the tables. How cute. I couldn't make out his features well, but his hair stuck every which way out of his head. He appeared to be holding something. A hatchet? Something wrong? You look like you've seen a ghost. This guy seemed oblivious to the situation at play here. I was so stunned I couldn't even speak. My eyes were too focused on the hatchet he had resting across his shoulder, just so casual-like. The guy tilted his head to the side, confused by my uneasiness. Oh, this! He held one of his hands up before letting the hatchet slip from his fingers onto the patch of grass beneath him, moving slowly to emphasize that he was harmless. He did all this while putting up a friendly smile. Take it easy, I'm not gonna hurt ya. Are you lost? Oh, yeah. What makes you think I could trust some guy with an axe in the middle of the forest like it's nothing? The stranger only replied to my question with a smile. It was only making me more nervous. Well, answer me. It's a hatchet. Huh? It's a hatchet, not an axe. I blink at him. Was he mocking me? Is this all just one big joke at me for him to laugh at? He was acting way too casual and didn't try to pull anything once. Was I overreacting? I didn't put down any of my defenses though, as I continued to eye him suspiciously. Are you gonna answer my question now? He continued to have that small, almost innocent smile plastered on his face. I'm gonna be realistic here. Would I be annoyed? I think I'd still be scared. I'm maybe annoyed by it. I let out a huff, rolling my eyes. Answer mine first. He let out a chuckle at my response. Noticed his movements weren't threatening and seemed to be casual. Alright, I'll comply. He put his arm up, almost like he was trying to surrender and play off my interrogation. Would you rather be stuck in the woods then? No. And then you should trust me. Easier said than done. He placed a hand over his mouth, trying to hold back a chuckle at my snarky remark.
Well...
You got me there, but do you know how to navigate your way back? Do you? There was a small beat of silence before he raised his hand. He was wearing brown, fingerless gloves. I know these woods like the back of my hand. You learn a thing or two when you live out here. All I've been front of you so you don't feel all angsty. I took a few seconds to think over his offer. Didn't exactly want to be stuck here forever until my body got discovered by a search party or eaten by vultures. Whoever this guy was, he was the best choice I have for now. Fine, lead the way. He smiled at me, reaching down to the ground and picking up his sturdy hatchet, perfectly sticking out from the soft tufts of grass. He swung the tool back on his shoulder. If I catch you doing anything remotely suspicious, I'll start swinging. I hear you loud and clear. He offered me his hand. I could barely make out the calluses and a few scratches from his hand. I was still a bit hesitant, but did it anyway.
Let's go.
Let's get going and get you somewhere safe. His grip was surprisingly strong, but he wasn't squeezing my hand or anything. The trees were becoming less dense the more we walked together, with the light of the moon guiding us through the foliage. Now and again, he would give me small glances, and in return, I got a better glimpse of his features. Particularly his eyes were the most noticeable. Both of them are a different color. Couldn't help but stare at them like I had spotted a rare creature in the wild. I don't think I've ever seen you before. Are you new around here by any chance? I was a bit caught off by surprise, but not expecting him to bring up a conversation. I just realized I had been looking up at him without saying a word. Well, I moved from the next town over not too long ago. He perked up with interest. What made you decide to stay in good old Doomsbury? I merely shrugged at him. I had lots of reasons for staying here. I doubt this guy wants to hear about my problems, and to be frank, he was a near-perfect stranger. Won't spill my guts, but I'll tell him something. Wanted to get out of my bubble, to put it simply. Doonesbury University seemed like the best school for me. How's that going for you? Oh, you know. Perfect. Fine. Super. Oh, that bad, huh? I cringed. So much for being vague and mysterious. The guy chuckled more under his breath as he continued to guide me through the trees and bushes. We both stayed silent, occasionally shattering the silence with small talk. You could tell I was uneasy around him. He seemed a bit sullen, like he had been looking forward to talking with me. My short responses and constant fidgeting told him that I was still on my guard. Not that he blamed me. He was sure he'd be cautious of some dude with a hatchet too. As we continued our trek, the tension we had before slowly dissipated, and I stopped being afraid of my own shadow. With time, the unkempt dirt path of the woods merges with the edge of the sidewalk, a sign of civilization. What a relief. I could practically kiss the ground right now. Looks like we finally made it. Oh my god, thank you. Jeez, I owe you one. I finally let go of his hand, stuffing mine into my pocket. Oh wait, we were holding hands? I did not notice that whatsoever. Don't mention it. It wasn't an issue at all. I turned over to him, scratching the back of my neck and feeling the chills of the cold air tickling my skin. Listen, you didn't murder me, and that's all I could ask for. I should at least return the favor. The guy didn't even give it a thought, as he grinned ear to ear. Tomorrow, meet me at the back of the woods, and we can get some more snacks from that place. He pointed to my plastic bag. Oh, sure, this? It wasn't until I looked down at it and saw a decently sized hole had torn its way. Only a few of my snacks had survived. It must have ripped along the way. I groaned. Are you kidding me? That was my dinner! I'll get you some more stuff tomorrow. Deal? I looked at him with sad, tired eyes. He gave me a sympathetic smile. For some reason, I trusted him. I didn't know how else I could explain it. Deal. And thanks again. I'll see you around then? He continued to stand in his place, but I turned my back from the woods, walking into my neighborhood once again. Stopping at the front door, I gave him one last wave. Couldn't tell from the distance, but he seemed to have waved back. Well, that was normal. I'm so tired. Exhausted, I immediately threw myself onto my bed, tossing the plastic bag on the floor. Finally, I can get some rest. God, my feet are already aching. How long did I walk? It seems incredibly late. My eyes, they feel heavy. Wherever that guy was... Wait, I didn't get his name. I'll ask him tomorrow. I feel heavy, like I can't get up. Something's on top of me? Oh God, how long did I sleep? I must have passed out and slept like a rock. Last night. Oh yeah, I got lost in the woods. Met a strange dude after he scared the living daylights out of me. And he promised me some snacks for today. I feel a mix of comforting jitters sinking in. It hasn't been long since I've moved in, and I wasn't exactly rubbing shoulders with my neighbors, but I still talk to them. I never heard them mention anything about a man living in the forest. If they knew, they would have given me a heads up, and I probably would have reacted differently. Right? Was I overthinking this? Probably. I should probably check my phone. Held a button on the side, tapping my foot as I waited for it to light up. My home screen brightens as notifications trickle onto it. An unknown number. Hey. Sorry to bother you. What chapter are we studying for, Prof. McCrox? This is Erica, by the way. Ah, Erica. Ah, yeah, she's a part of my English class. Think we exchanged phone numbers because our professor recommended it? Initially, I didn't plan to ask for anyone's number, especially since I didn't know anyone in that class. Barely even talked to them other than occasionally asking someone for a pencil. Erica was the one to approach me first. She wasn't talkative either, only answered questions sometimes and gave snarky remarks on a whim. I didn't know much about her, other than that she'd be a constant center of attention with her outfits. She had a keen eye for fashion, and she would constantly amaze me with how she would walk into class. She breathed in effortlessly like a runway model. Some outfits were her projects for her fashion design class. Others were simply her wanting to look good that day. It was pretty surprising to find out she was majoring in interior design. She'd be the cheekiest interior designer, that's for sure. Can't say some words. Erica seemed like she had her shit together, from what I can glean from the few times I've spoken to her. Chapter 4. I sent the text and proceeded to let out a loud groan while dragging myself up from bed. I would much rather sleep the day away, but I was promised snacks. It's been the first time in a while that I've been motivated to do something other than rot in my room. Damn. That's kinda sad. Thanks. I chuckled at her response. That was kinda cute. Is Erica gonna be another love interest? Before I go out, I need to review for the day. I reached out to the fridge, pulling with a bit of force thanks to how janky the handle had become over time. Wait, I didn't see the to-do list. The to-do list says, sleep and cry. This is so sad. I should get that looked at. Everything around this house needs some touch-ups though. Maybe I shouldn't have turned down the idea of having a roommate. But I do enjoy my privacy a lot, and I wasn't keen on losing that anytime soon. The cool air of the fridge nicked the tip of my nose as my eyes searched for food. It was practically empty. Slice of leftover pizza, toaster waffles, eggs. The pizza's more fulfilling. This could fill me up for the time being. It's been there for a while, might as well not let it go to waste. If you go down to the woods today, Day 1. Okay. I squeeze my eyes shut, feeling attacked by the blinding glow of the sun. It's too bright today. I walked to the other side of the road, frisking to the overgrown forest again. I stuffed my phone in my pocket. Wouldn't be any use since my servers couldn't reach in the middle of the woods. Wait, walking towards... I would not meet someone in the woods, like... Come on now. I walked through my familiar path, trying to remember where exactly the guy wanted to meet. He was pretty vague on the details, telling me to simply meet him in the woods. Not gonna lie, it just hit me how sketchy that sounded. Yeah, that's super sketchy. I fell into a daze, walking until everything around me looked strange. Well, that didn't take long. I guess I just need to sit back and wait for him to find me. Oh, you actually came. I heard his voice again. It sounded almost in disbelief. Well, duh. Who shows up to someone agreeing to them to meet in the woods? That's weird. I turn around to face him. His eyes are wide, but a smile slowly forms. He seems happy to see me. You thought I was gonna ditch you or something? Well, maybe. He laughs nervously under his breath, scratching the back of his neck. Like I said, I owe you one and I want my snacks. Can't turn down an offer like that. Got a chuckle out of him, easing him more and more into a conversation. It soon subsides again into an awkward silence. I shifted my eyes around, trying to think of what to say next. Oh, I didn't catch your name, stranger. I didn't throw it. Let's just laugh. I guess it's funny. I couldn't help but laugh, trying my best to stifle it. Are you serious? Jesus, dude, just tell me your name. I struggled to finish my sentence. Every vowel would be interrupted by my laughing fit. Wasn't even that clever or funny. Alan. Alan? Yep. Alan Orion. That can't be your name. Constance Oteye Vimont III? Is that really your full name? I squint my eyes at him. Nope, it's just Alan Orion. Wow, you're already lying to me? I can't believe you, Alan. I shot back at him in a snarky tone. Alan proceeds to place his arms behind his back, flashing his rather sharp teeth. Are you gonna tell me your name, Doe Eyes? He leans in, not too close for comfort, but enough that I could take a good look at his features. He had scars in both of his cheeks. They were small and one looked like a marked X in his face. His shaggy hair had bleached tips at some of the ends. Then my eyes fell onto his, staring directly at me like some new creature he discovered. Both of them are different in color. Couldn't help but feel a chill run down my spine. He seemed creepy, but also familiar? Wasn't he stalking us already? I'm trying to remember from the last game. I think he was. I was staring at him again. Oh, Amelia. Pleasure to meet you, Amelia. Alan's hand reaches out to shake mine, and I gladly take it. So, about those snacks. I grinned mysteriously as soon as he brought up the topic of snacks, like exactly what I was here for. Alright, we should get some. There's this convenience store around the food box, right? I go there from time to time. And I would assume you would know your way out of the woods, right? Hopefully? Alan chuckles, sensing my anxiety about being able to get out of the wood forest. You seem to get lost easily, huh? What would you do without me, Doe Eyes? He keeps calling me that, even after I told him my name. I think it's flattering. Flattered you. My face turns red. My eyes shifted around and I began to laugh. I was merely trying to brush off his comment. Come to think of it, I did find him to be cute. There was a beat of silence.
Alright.
I'll lead the way. Cool. We both walked together, or more like I followed whatever Alan walked. On the occasion, he would stop and mutter to himself under his breath. I could have sworn I heard him counting the trees, pointing at them before smiling at me, getting to walk around again. It made me curious about just how he seemed to know where we were. Despite how far we walked, it all looked the same to me. It was starting to scramble my brain. So, what's your whole thing here? Huh? I mean, I'm assuming you live on your own out here, not anywhere in town. It's not my business, but how come no one has ever told me about you? Alan looks up to the sky, giving some thought to my question. As his arms droop side to side as he walks, he didn't appear to be slowing down. I guess no one really acknowledges me or knows that I live here. Everyone kind of keeps to themselves here, which I appreciate. Wait, do you not have any friends? Alan shook his head. Nope. The most spaces I've seen around are when I visit the store to restock on food. Family? There was a small pause, but Alan didn't stop walking. Left them a long time ago. Oh. No. I figured I lived better by myself. Nobody bothers me. I don't bother them. So, you're a hermit. Alan chuckled, scratching his cheek. Yeah, I could say that. I nodded, understanding Alan in a way, not wanting to interact with others living peacefully out in the woods. Then a funny thought came to my mind. But you do realize that you're talking to me and joining in on a snack quest, right? Not very hermit-like. Did I break your 0 human interaction record? Alan's eyes latched on to me, his lips tugging a smile. I guess you did. I didn't mind you being my first. It didn't take us long to get to the convenience store. Didn't think I minded the distance. Didn't know a conversation with someone I knew for less than 24 hours could be so distracting. The obnoxiously bright lights of the store pulled me out of the trance. There were a couple of people in the store, mostly older men getting cases of beer or students getting a quick lunch. A worker mutters welcome as we step in, not bothering to look up from their phone. Well, make anything you want. It's on me. I perked up as soon as he said that. My eyes scanned around every corner of the store, wondering what I could get. Ice cream, slushy, soda. Slushy sounds nice, but I'll get ice cream. I reached into the cold freezer, grabbing myself whatever seemed most appealing. Alan flashes me a cheeky smile. He seemed giddy that we got the same thing. I looked back and saw that Alan was scavenging around for snacks. Both of us were smiling brightly like children running amok. The aisle was not even bothering to get a basket for our collection. Alan instantly flashes a proud smile at me, holding his snacks securely. Got everything you need? Yeah, let's go. Alan dropped everything to the counter to pay, only to receive an eye roll from the cashier. Seemed like they just wanted to be done with their shift. Clock out and go home. I'm not gonna blame the cashier for that. I feel like that way too. We quickly leave the store after paying, bags filled with a bunch of goodies. I'm already getting hungry. He mumbles out loud as I enjoy my ice cream. I expected him to reach for the bags and start rummaging through our snacks, but instead, he unzips his jacket, he exposes a hoard of chocolate bars. I blinked, confused. When did you get those? When they weren't looking. Alan pulled a chocolate bar out of his coat. His fingers fidget with the plastic wrapper as he tears it open. You stole it? He then takes a bite, smiling proudly to himself.
Yes.
He said, yes. Yep, I said it was on me. Alan continues to munch on his chocolate, proceeding wordlessly to fish another one out. Boop. He playfully nudges it on the tip of my nose, tantalizing me to partake in his stolen loot. I promise still tastes better. I was a bit hesitant, but I did end up taking the chocolate and unwrapping it. It was just candy. What's going to be so special about it? That's what I thought until I ate it. And he was right. It does taste better. I laughed in disbelief. Wow, you're actually right. Holy shit. You see? I still couldn't believe that he had stolen candy. While it was kind of impressive that he did it so nonchalantly and with ease, still couldn't help but feel bad that he went out of his way to grab enough to share. Let's offer him a taste of our ice cream. It only seemed fair, right? Pushing my ice cream towards him, I was shaking it to signal Alan to indulge a bit. Tilts his head like a confused dog before getting the hint. Oh. He leans forward. I felt his hand graze against mine, pulling me a bit closer to take a bite. He lips smack and he takes a moment to savor the taste. Then his eyes gaze up at me, staring with a smirk spread on his face. One I couldn't exactly pinpoint what he was trying to say, but my heart felt like it was pounding. You have good taste, Doe Eyes. Alan then steps away, continuing to eat his forbidden chocolate. Hey! I call out before following him right on his tail. Martian Lake. So this place is like, no, it's gonna remind me of something. We kept walking for a few minutes. Our bags of snacks almost empty. The only thing left was wrappers and packaging. Seemed to have lost track of time, as I finally began to notice the sun was about to set. It was really quiet, with only the occasional rustling of the leaves from the trees and the rush of water growing louder. Martian Lake? I know, seeing a rather silly-looking sign of an alien. During my short time here, I had never visited the lake, but it was the first thing you could see when driving here. The crystal blue water and soft sand that almost looked pink thanks to the sunset caught my eye. Why did they name it that? There was a beat of silence, and I looked over to Alan. He seemed distracted. He was hunched over the sand. He seemed to be looking for something. Oh, from what I've heard, back in the 60s, people allegedly saw an alien walking around here. In the blink of an eye, the alien ran into the woods and it was never seen again. Why did it run into the woods? That's so weird. Sounds like a typical Doomsbury legend. Do you believe that story? Alan stood up straight again, picking up a rock and observing it. He simply shrugged at my question. After living here, I would believe almost anything. So you have seen some things. Gosh, you could say that. Alan tosses the stone up a couple of times in the air before flinging it across the lake. My eyes follow it. To my astonishment, the stone skips across the water with a accelerating speed, never stopping. I squinted my eyes, and the further and further it got until it was nothing more than a speck. Then it was gone. Alan let out a satisfied hum, and my mouth hung open in astonishment. Search for a rock. You know what? I want to be taught. Can you teach me how to do that? I look up at Alan with hopeful eyes. Sure thing, doe eyes. Here. Alan approaches me, picking up a random stone as he did. He examined it, turning it over in his hand. You can't just use any rock. It has to be very flat. And there's gotta be a little nudge for you to place your fingers and grab onto. Then he grabs my wrist gently, handed me the rock, and places it in the palm of my hand for me to hold. Now, before you do anything, people tend to throw it like a frisbee. Don't throw it with your wrist. Swing your whole arm. I focus. Taking into consideration what Alan told me, I felt a lot more confident in this throw. I take a deep breath and toss it again. I did it! It was a lot slower and didn't go as far as Alan's, but still. I cheer and Alan gives me a thumbs up. We walk back to my place. The sun had already set with the moon and the stars taking its place. I stretched, bending and stretching my legs after all that walking. I had fun today. Did you now? I nodded to him, approaching my doorstep, leaving Alan behind. We should do something like that again. Alan's eyes widened. He appears to be quiet for a moment. We should. I turned my door handle, opening it slightly. See you around, Alan. Much like yesterday, as soon as I entered the house, it was as if all my energy drained out of me. Didn't even bother to go upstairs to my bedroom. I fall onto my sofa face first. I'm just gonna sleep here. The sound of the TV slowly drowns out the sound of my breathing. Soon every single worry I had faded away. Something weird's gonna happen, huh? Oh, wait, that's it? Thank you for playing the beta of My Dear Hatchet, man. Oh, that's it? There's no scene in the woods? I guess that the lake kind of replaced that. Okay, that is the end of the newly written demo version. I kind of like this better because there's more lore to the town. Maybe there'd be like elements of like supernatural in it, since like the town is just seems to be a hotbed for just weird stuff to happen. So maybe more of that will be included in the game, and that'll be interesting to see. Maybe the Alan is actually some weird cryptid creature that we don't know of. Maybe, who knows? But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'm looking forward to seeing days 2 and 3. So thank you guys so much for watching. Bye.